Welcome. I'm David Jenkins, Dean of the Kent School of Social Work and Family Science. We are so pleased you decided to join us today. Our Champions for Change Awards and Recognition event honors our community partners, alumni, donors, and scholarship recipients. Today we will recognize our selection for the 2022 Dean's Distinguished Alumni Award, a few of our outstanding practicum field supervisors, a community partner agency, and our student scholarship recipients. To start things off, I want to welcome Dr. Gerry Bradley, who currently serves as our Interim Provost for the University of Louisville. Dr. Bradley and I have worked closely with one another for many years, and I'm so glad he joins us for this important Kent School event. Welcome, Interim Provost Bradley.
Welcome to the Kent School of Social Work and Family Sciences 3rd Champions for Change Awards. As Provost, I oversee the colleges and schools of the University of Louisville, and today I am proud to help increase your awareness of the incredible impact that Kent School students and faculty are having on social work in our city, state, and beyond. The BSW and MSSW programs have had students from 48 states, 2 U.S. territories, and 6 countries. The Kent School of Social Work and Family Science is the leading university unit in community engagement with the highest number of community partnerships. It is also among the top units at U of L in community engagement-related grant funding, with over $6 million in grant funding in 2020 to 2021. As you know, March is Social Work Month, a time to stop and celebrate the social work profession. In today's program, I hope you enjoy hearing from some of Kent's notable faculty, celebrating the school's community partners, and honoring scholarship donors, recipients, and alumni. You'll also hear how scholarships are impacting not only the lives of our students, but also the lives of those in the communities in which they serve. I hope you'll consider joining U of L's Kent School as a champion for change by making a gift in support of our student scholarships. Thank you for attending today's program and supporting both the Kent School and the University of Louisville. Go Cards!
Thank you, Dr. Bradley. We appreciate your support for all you do at the Kent School. I want to take a few minutes to share with you some highlights we've accomplished over the past year. The year has been difficult as we continue to struggle through the pandemic and its evolving forms. We've also further enhanced our understanding of some of the many social injustices in our community and beyond. Through these challenges, the Kent School continues to do great work. These are just a few of the great things happening here. Let me start by mentioning you may have noticed the name of our school has changed. We needed to consider a name change because we offer more than social work degrees in our unit. The new name is a result of a year of committee work and discussions with faculty, staff, and community members to find a name that honors our history but reflects our newest edition of the master's degree in couples and family therapy. We are pleased with this change because it better reflects the diversity of offerings in our school to our students, campus, and community partners. We are thrilled to introduce our new name as the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science. Another big addition to the Kent School is our new Doctorate in Social Work, or DSW program. The DSW is a practice doctorate that prepares graduates to move into teaching and leadership positions. Our DSW is fully online, and we welcomed our inaugural cohort of 20 students in the fall of 2021. Dr. Lynetta Mathis leads this new program, and she and her team are busy admitting our next cohort for the fall admission of 2022. We are excited about this new addition to the Kent School. I enjoy sharing about our HBCU Cardinal Express to Success initiative. Because of this program designed by Dr. Shawnice Miller and her team in the MSSW program, there has been greater intentionality to admit and graduate students of color into the advanced social work practice courses. These students who are currently pursuing an undergraduate degree from historically Black colleges and universities are recruited, given an accelerated admissions process, and offered scholarship opportunities. We also mentor these students carefully to support them toward graduation and offer them professional development and career placement opportunities. Thank you, Dr. Miller, for this wonderful program trying to remove some of the barriers and offer greater support to these students. This year, we had 10 undergraduate social work students that moved into our social work living and learning community. These living learning communities, or LLCs, housed in a resident hall on campus, bring together like-minded students who want to join a supportive community and offer social, professional, and community experiences. Research tells us these students are more likely to stay engaged and complete their degree. So we are pleased that our first social work LLC is thriving here on the U of L campus. Our Couples and Family Therapy program opened an innovative counseling center on the Shelby campus called the Relationship Solutions Clinic. In this clinic, graduate CFT students work under the direct supervision of a licensed marriage and family therapist and trained supervisor to see clients in person or through telehealth. Therapists in the clinic provide an inviting, non-judgmental atmosphere for clients to decrease conflict, improve communication, enhance well-being, and build stronger relationships. It is great that we now have this educational opportunity for our students and offer this therapeutic service to the Louisville community. I think it is important that we pause and remember those who experience property destruction, houselessness, injury, and loss of loved ones during the devastating tornadoes that passed through Kentucky and surrounding states near the end of 2021. It is difficult to put into words the magnitude of destruction and upheaval caused to these individuals, families, and communities. I am proud of my Kent School colleagues who traveled to Bowling Green to volunteer their services to assist those impacted by this tragedy. Dr. Becky Antle and her team have had an incredibly productive year growing our Kent School Center for Family and Community Well-Being. The center's mission is to develop and translate evidence-based practice to the community and address a wide range of problems to advance social justice and support our most vulnerable populations. Among other things, the center partners with community agencies on grant projects, sponsors community symposiums and national conferences, provides professional development opportunities, and translates faculty research into technology tools. One of their most recent offerings during the spring semester has been their College Student Stress Resiliency Workshop, offered campus-wide to our students. This workshop helps students cope more effectively with school, connect to others, and commit to better self-care. Thank you, Dr. Antle, and those on your team for your great work in the center and this important addition to our community and campus. The Credit for Learning program, or CFL program, has been a long-term partnership between U of L, the Cabinet for Families and Children, and other universities to train child welfare workers across the state. As a benefit of this program, CFL workers have been able to take 12 credit hours toward a social work master's degree in the Kent School as part of their requirements in the program. Under the direction of Dr. Bavudi-Sar and his team, hundreds of students have used this program to better understand children, families, and the systems they encounter, enter the field of child welfare practice, and successfully launch careers that make an incredible impact on people's lives and our communities. Sadly, this partnership is being ended by the Cabinet this summer. We wouldn't want this opportunity to pass without thanking CFL for their incredible work and the ways they benefited the Kent School and the Commonwealth. Our anti-racism work continues at the Kent School. This year, we've restructured our anti-oppression committee, started a school-wide anti-racism resource and common, offered racial healing process groups, and brought in trainings on anti-racism instruction and micro-resistance to combat microaggressions. I'm happy now to introduce one of our most productive faculty and impactful leaders in the Kent School, Dr. Emma Sterrett-Hong. Dr. Sterrett-Hong is a tenured faculty member who previously served as our Couples and Family Program Director and has now taken on a new responsibility as our Associate Dean of Equity and Inclusion. Dr. Sterrett-Hong joined the Kent School in 2011 and brings a wealth of experience, leadership, and passion into this new role. Throughout her time with us, she has researched, published, and led many initiatives related to social justice, equity, and inclusion. As a few examples, she has been a member of and chaired the Kent School Anti-Oppression Committee, helped create and advise Shades, which is a university group for LGBTQ students of color, served as a board member for West Louisville Community Ministries, and was a founding board member of Sweet Evening Breeze, an LGBT affirming service to adults experiencing homelessness and housing insecurity. Please welcome our Kent in the Community speaker, Dr. Emma Sterrett-Hong.
Hi, I'm Emma Sterrett-Hong, an Associate Professor and the Associate Dean of Equity and Inclusion in the Kent School of Social Work and Family Science. I am honored to be here with you today. I want to start by acknowledging that I am currently on the traditional territory of the Shawnee, Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Osage Native American tribes. Inclusion refers to intentionally creating the space for all people in a group, system, or organization to be valued, respected, and supported. Anti-racism refers to the active process of resisting racism in ourselves, relationships, institutions, and policies. As Beverly Daniel Tatum said, the ongoing cycle of racism is like a moving walkway at the airport. Active racist behaviors is equivalent to walking fast on the conveyor belt. Passive racist behavior is equivalent to standing still on the walkway. Some of the bystanders may feel the motion of the conveyor belt, see the active racists ahead of them, and choose to turn around. But unless they are walking actively in the opposite direction at a speed faster than the conveyor belt, unless they are actively anti-racist, they will find themselves carried along with the others. So today I'm excited to share with you just a few of the ways we have been engaged in advancing inclusion and anti-racism this past year. In summer 2021, we adopted an anti-racism resource in common, the 1619 Project, across all 5 of our academic programs. This has allowed us as a school to reflect on ways that previous forms of systemic oppression are related to current health and wealth disparities, such as continued residential segregation and elevated rates of chronic illnesses among Black Americans, thus helping to arm our students with the knowledge needed to meaningfully contribute to reducing and eliminating systemic bias and its outcomes, to promote wellness, fulfillment, and liberation for all people and communities. In addition, 36 staff, faculty, and students thus far have participated in 8 to 12-week racial processing groups to reflect on ways they have been impacted by race and racism and concrete steps to further educate themselves and promote fairness and respect. We have a vibrant anti-oppression committee consisting of students, staff, and faculty from our various areas that are taking on such initiatives as raising awareness about the importance of education on diversity, cultural humility, and cultural responsiveness, and work with racial minorities, members of the LGBTQ+ community, and members of refugee communities. I have invited 2 additional members of the Kent School to share with you their visions of anti-racism and the efforts they have been involved in within the school, and they will speak with you next.
Hello, my name is Lynetta Mathis, and I'm the program director of the Kent School's Doctor of Social Work program. I'm fully committed to Kent School's anti-racist efforts within the school and the community. I see racism as the planned advantaging of one racial group by the intentional social and institutional disadvantaging of other racial groups. Acts of racism to retain power and resources by oppressing other racial groups causes direct harm mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and financially. Ultimately, I believe racism harms every facet of society because a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, culture, and creativity are squashed. One of the goals of the DSW program is to provide students an opportunity to develop knowledge and skills in anti-racist and anti-oppressive practices in leadership roles and in teaching and learning. DSW students are preparing to affect change within organizations, communities, and higher education.
And the way that I'm involved in anti-racism efforts really began with the Kent faculty here in the School of Social Work. And my peers who embedded these principles into all that we do here in the school. And I've been fortunate enough to get involved in numerous research projects with faculty members allowing me in community-based partnerships and school-based collaboratory research and as well as international work.
Thank you for listening. We invite you to join us in our journey to resist oppression and inequity and to make our community and society more free and just for all people.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Turner Jr., Director of Field Education here at the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science. Field education is a component of social work education programs where students learn to practice social work through educational focused service experiences in diverse agencies and community settings. The field officer at the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science worked with roughly 450 undergraduate, graduate, and international students annually. The aim of field education is to promote practice competence through students' learning to integrate and apply the knowledge, values, and skills of social work while also offering services to individuals, families, groups, and communities. Students can also do field work in administration, planning, or policy development activities. An experienced social worker, usually an employee of the service setting, provides educational focused field instruction, consultation, and supervision to students while fulfilling their own daily work responsibilities. We here at the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science appreciate and recognize the hard work and dedication these individuals provide to their communities and commitment to developing future social workers. As you are recognized on this day, we applaud you and thank you for your continued support. This year, the University of Louisville Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science would like to recognize Volunteers of America Mid-States and Catholic Charities of Louisville for their longtime collaboration and support in working with the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Sciences to develop well-prepared social workers of today and tomorrow. We thank you.
Volunteers of America recently celebrated our 125th anniversary. We have been serving this community and this region for a very long time, and our mission has remained the same. It is to create positive change in the lives of individuals in our communities through our ministry of service. One of the things that I love so much about Volunteers of America is the diversity of the populations that we work with. We serve veterans, we serve individuals and families affected by homelessness, we serve individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, individuals who need public health solutions like our community health worker program and our HIV testing, prevention, and education services, as well as our restorative justice and our addiction recovery services. And I've probably left several out because we actually provide more than 40 unique programs throughout this region.
So I've had multiple different opportunities to be able to work with students in my career. I think this is 17 or 18 years now that I've been supervising students at 2 different jobs throughout my career, but most recently with Volunteers of America, our students are working directly with our clients. So they are providing case management services, support, they are there when a client may need to talk to them, but our students are really in there doing the same work alongside our professional staff and our paid staff.
When I think back to being a student 36 years ago, myself, I remember bringing that sense of compassion and that desire to want to improve the lives of people, to provide service, to impact our world. But you have to have the skills and the competencies to be able to do that. And your work will be so much better if it's truly research informed, if you strengthen those critical thinking skills, if you learn those core competencies of assessment and planning and evaluation, how to build rapport with clients, how to do group work. All of those are not something that may necessarily come naturally.
This practicum experience has been very helpful for my educational experience. It's really allowed me to take the things that I've learned in the classroom and be able to apply them to real life situations with real clients. And it's also been really important for me to work to gain my confidence in my skills as a social worker, and I've been very grateful for that.
When the pandemic descended in Kentucky and throughout our nation, we were opening a brand new residential addiction recovery program for women who are pregnant and parenting called Freedom House. And while we could have delayed the opening and convinced ourselves that it wasn't safe to bring people into residential treatment, we decided that it was actually less safe to keep them out of treatment and to expect them to continue to figure it out on their own without these professional services. So we opened that program and we kept all of our other programs operational, which is really tough since we have 600 individuals in residential care and more than 600 employees providing supports to them.
What has always motivated me in this work, no matter what I'm doing, is being able to see clients succeed and get the keys to their first apartment, or be able to say that I have been clean for 3 days, 100 days, 365 days, clients who have been able to talk about trauma that they've experienced. So just watching clients be successful and feel like that they've accomplished something, no matter how small or how big.
In the future, I would like to continue working with individuals and families experiencing homelessness. That's definitely been an area I've been very interested in. I also would like to focus on young adults experiencing homelessness and domestic violence.
The growth that I see from the first week that a student enters in until the week that they leave their field placement, they're just a different person at that point, and they have really figured out how to become an emerging professional and carve that path out to be somebody really impactful in our community.
Catholic Charities works to support people in need in our community. We welcome, strengthen, and empower families in a multitude of ways throughout the city and throughout the Archdiocese, which is Louisville, throughout the southern part of the state. Common Table specifically works with people who face barriers to employment. So we work with people who are unemployed, who are underemployed, who have been out of the workforce for some time, and help them gain the skills to have a career in food service. But beyond that, it's building the confidence, it's building the soft skills and the life skills that are necessary to be successful when they graduate here, both in their career and professional life, but also in their home life too. So Common Table works mostly with people who live in the West End. Most of our students are young Black women, and we support them in working towards their goals. Practicum students get to do a variety of things when they work with Common Table. They have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with Common Table students and to do an intake assessment to talk to those students about what their goals are and what they want to do, both in the short term and the long term. They get to work with client referral systems that we work with here internally, but also within with other agencies in the city. They get some experience in working with SNAP ENT and enrollment and follow up with that. So a little bit in the state government system, which is good experience. But I really think that the biggest benefit comes with getting to work one-on-one with clients and helping them meet their goals, helping them overcome some of the barriers, whether that's helping them find childcare or apply for SNAP benefits or apply for Section 8 housing. It's providing that one-on-one support and really getting to see the benefit that creates and how that helps the individual while they're here.
So here at Catholic Charities, I am social worker in training, and I work alongside my supervisor and my field coordinator to provide resources for the students that come into Common Table, whether that be childcare, transportation, basically anything that the students need. I'm here to resource them and find them anything that they need.
COVID-19 has affected us greatly. I think one of the biggest things that we've seen is just the challenges our students have faced in being able to join class and stay in class. I think, as we all know, you think you're on track with something, whether it's school or a job, and then, your child's daycare closes, and so then all of a sudden you're struggling with a backup plan, or you or your family member catches COVID, and you have to be out for 10 days. And so we've really had to pivot constantly as we've tried to adapt to what our students' needs are and best meet them where everyone is right now. Having practicum students has been a critical component for Common Table, honestly, because we're a really new program. Our resources have been really limited as we've gotten established, and having practicum students here enables us to have the capacity within our team to provide extra one-on-one support for students while they're in the program. And this makes the difference for some of our students in whether or not they complete the course.
This experience has been very important to me because I'm still trying to figure out what I would like to do in social work outside of my BSW. So being able to talk to multiple different students from backgrounds, race, religion, just the different students that come in here, it's really given me a glimpse into what I could be seeing in the real world outside of here, and being able to learn how to communicate, have them trust me, and just overall be that person for them to rely on has been huge for me to be able to figure out what I want to do after I get my bachelor's.
It's the students, it's the people that we work with on a daily basis. It's the passion that they bring to the kitchen and to making food that has a positive impact on those around them. And I just, just being able to provide an opportunity for them to use their skills and talent and to really grow in that, it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see as students graduate the 8-week program, but it's also amazing to hear back from our graduates who graduated 4 or 5 years ago and see where they are now and what an impact that's made on them. And so I'm excited to come to work every day because of that, honestly.
I am a very proud social worker and started my career working with families affected by addiction through a field placement. And that's what really sent me on this trajectory that ultimately led me to Volunteers of America. And I'm just so proud of our partnership with the Kent School, the number of students that we attract here, the opportunities we provide, including employment opportunities at the end of their field placement. So to be given this Champions for Change award this year is really quite an honor. We feel so strongly about our partnership with the Kent School that we have a VOA Scholars Program where we incentivize students to consider pursuing a career in behavioral health and provide them a stipend, a field placement, and ultimately a wonderfully rewarding career. So thank you so much to all of our friends and partners at the Kent School for recognizing Volunteers of America this year.
I'm so happy to accept this award on behalf of Catholic Charities of Louisville. As an organization dedicated to helping people in need, especially those who are poor and oppressed, we know firsthand the value of having those skilled in social work. And we are so grateful for the expertise and compassion your students bring to our outreach programs. In fact, we share this honor with you as your students have helped us in serving survivors of human trafficking, residents of assisted care facilities, mothers of children, our neighbors in West Louisville, and students of Common Table, and so many more. Thank you.
I'm always excited to announce our Dean's Distinguished Alumni Award winner. This year, I couldn't just pick one, so we have 2 recipients. These 2 have incredible histories and have made a huge impact on the Kent School. I'm excited to honor Carol Ann Isbell and Amanda Driggs. Both Carol Ann and Amanda are licensed marriage and family therapists and licensed clinical social workers serving the Louisville community. They are also both supervisors, small business owners, educators, and mentors. In 2014, with other local clinicians, they co-founded North Star Counseling Center to provide a diverse client population with evidence-based clinical care. They have both remained connected to the Kent School's CFT program and served as practicum supervisors, adjunct faculty, community mentors, and co-founded the CFT Alumni Council. They also generously created the North Star Counseling Center Scholarship, which is awarded annually to a CFT student. They are both passionate about supporting the growth, expansion, and education of marriage and family therapists and social workers. Now that I've said a few words about the two of them, let me say a few things about them individually. Carol Ann loves challenging stereotypes of what others believe it means to have a disability. Having been visually impaired since birth and legally blind since 2003, she embodies perseverance and strives to empower all individuals to pursue their dreams, regardless of what barriers they may face. In addition to providing quality systemic therapeutic services at North Star, she became the youngest AAMFT approved clinical supervisor in Kentucky in 2014. At the beginning of the pandemic, during the height of the Breonna Taylor protests, Carol Ann noticed the need for more diversity within our local therapy community. Since that time, she has provided pro bono clinical supervision to therapists of color with the hope that one day every client will have access to a therapist that looks like them. Carol Ann works to show the core values of social work and marriage and family therapy to her community through her work and advocacy. Amanda started her career working with children and families as an outpatient therapist in community mental health with 7 counties. She then moved into private practice and co-founded North Star Counseling Center. Amanda has a passion for connecting and supporting clinicians in our community and served as the executive director for the Kentucky Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. She took that role after serving as the organization's central regional representative and student representative and volunteer coordinator. Amanda helps people from all walks of life to live wholeheartedly through a collaborative and strength-based approach. She values safety and the therapeutic relationship to create change through supportive healing and growth. I present to you the 2022 Dean's Distinguished Alumni Award winners, Carol Ann and Amanda.
Thank you, Dean Jenkins. We are truly honored to be the recipients of this year's Dean's Distinguished Alumni Award. As we've reflected on this honor, Carol Ann and I have both discussed how our continuous involvement with the university and our passions for supporting students and young therapists in this field have kept us excited and grounded in the important work we do. We value our time at the Kent School in many ways, but most importantly in how it allowed us to challenge ourselves, think systemically, and to build lifelong professional and personal relationships. Much of what we've been able to accomplish is thanks to the support of those relationships, combined with the support, love, and understanding of our partners and families. We would also like to give special recognition to our other work wife, Allison Hawk Howell, who is oftentimes the Beyonce of North Star Counseling Center. Again, we are humbled and honored to receive this award and acknowledgement, but above all else, we are so incredibly grateful to the Kent School for setting us up to live a compassionate life serving our community.
Kent School has always been a part of my life in some form or fashion. I've had mentors over the years, be a graduate of Kent School. Some of them, I watched them go through their education process, and even when times were tough, they always praised where they were getting their education from. So when I was approaching my last few years at the University of Kentucky, I had to do what most students do, think about what's next. For me, it was only one option. I only applied to one school. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly where I wanted to go. And that was the Kent School of Social Work here at U of L. Since being a part of this program, it would be an understatement to say it has honestly changed my life. Classes such as policy that I have taken with Professor M, who is now retired, macro and micro social work with Jennifer Bobo, social justice policy with Dr. Storer. All of these classes have been very incremental to how I have gotten here today. I'm currently in a position working for the mayor's office as a youth engagement specialist that has allowed me to take everything that I have learned at the Kent School until now to put that into practice. Everything from the Gantt charts to thinking about policy and policy work. Working directly with these professors has honestly done great justice for me, and I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. So fast forward a year into the program, thinking about specializations, and I get an email from the field office. Hey, Javoughn, have you thought about a specialization? I honestly hadn't. So that's when couple and family therapy just fell into my lap. How appreciative I was of that opportunity. And since then, I have been able to fuse that macro level social work, that policy, that nonprofit work with direct micro levels of social work and couple and family therapy. Those experiences has been very salient in adding to my growth and my success. Because before then, having this position here in the mayor's office, I was a dorm supervisor at Maryhurst, where I was then still able to apply what I have learned in this program. And through it all, I have been supported by my university. Being able to acquire scholarships to help me with the funding of college in this very hard time in which college is very expensive, very time consuming, and not everybody has the opportunity to work while in college. Though that I have had the opportunity to acquire some funding to help me with that. And that came directly from my school. I think in this world that we live in, we talk about belonging and feeling connected. And being a student of the Kent School of Social Work and Family Sciences, I have felt both connected and as if I belonged. I can't speak for everywhere else, but I can speak for my college, my university. And I can say that I definitely appreciate everything the Kent School has done for me so far, every resource that they have poured into me as a student, as a Black man here in America, here in Louisville. I'm super appreciative. And when I finish my education here, I will become an alumni and I will give back my talents, my time, whatever is needed to add to the success of the next student and the next student. Because I believe in Ubuntu. I believe in we are because I am, and I am because we are, which was also instilled into me by the Kent School of Social Work. So I'm appreciative of everything that they have given me, from their time to their efforts to just simple conversations with Dr. Shawnice Miller, the program director for the MSSW program. Everything that they have given me, I am super appreciative and thankful. And what they have taught me here will allow me to go affect change and be an agent of change here in my community, starting from today on forward. So I want to say to Kent, thank you so much. To the professors within Kent, thank you so much. To the university for housing Kent, thank you so much. And I hope that we are able to continue to affect change in some way. And Kent is a great leader at that. So thank you.
As a teen, I always knew that I wanted to help people. I just didn't know in which way. And then I actually ended up being a survivor of DV. And through that experience, I was linked with an advocate in court, and then I seen my own therapist, and she had helped me so tremendously, like life-changing. And I was like, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to be this person for someone else. And it definitely led me down the path of social work.
I chose social work because I want to be a resource for Black, Indigenous, and non-white, transgender, and non-binary populations. I'm looking to attain a licensure to be a licensed clinical social worker so that I can open up my own practice.
I chose to study social work because I come from a background of giving. I believe in being an advocate to those who need support in the community. I also like helping my community and helping those who need assistance because I know I have a genuine feeling of being able to help someone in need.
So I chose the Kent School because after researching other universities, I felt like Louisville was really going to give me the best education for my future social work career.
I chose Kent School of Social Work at the University of Louisville because I believe that I'm also an integral part of growth within inclusive communities. I chose U of L specifically because this is where it all began for me. It's the heart of my education when I was growing up learning about what diversity was and how diversity existed as a young child.
I'm a first generation of going to college, so I really wasn't sure which school I wanted to go to. So I started researching, and the Kent School was actually highly ranked in Kentucky, so that drew my attention. And then there were also a lot of scholarship opportunities for me at the Kent School that I was able to take advantage of.
I feel like, the program is so well designed that it fits my learning style, and I feel like I'm really learning current relevant information and skills that I'll really be able to use in my future practice.
The classes that I'm taking is actually giving me pointers on how to go throughout my daily work schedule with helping patients.
Yes, I do think that the social work classes are preparing me. I'm learning a lot more about policy and how that correlates within social work, specifically in my social welfare policy class, instead of just thinking that social workers are just people who knock on the door and take your kids away. I definitely feel like I'm learning a little bit more of the deeper values and deeper understanding of what social work actually is.
It helped me tremendously. I am a mom and I also have a full-time job, so squeezing in to be able to get my master's degree was going to be a little bit more difficult. But with the scholarship that I received, it provided me the support to help take care of my family and lessen the hours at my work so I could squeeze my internship in there and it be more flexible.
It helped me with my balance and basically what I need to pay for my classes.
The NIA Fund Scholarship helped me pay for my tuition for the spring semester. And I also don't think I would have been able to attend school without the scholarship. A little bit of it also helped me with my own finances of living. So I could be a full-time student because I work part-time as a barista currently. So it kind of gave me a little wiggle room to be a full-time student.
I'm an online student, but even as an online student, I think that the professors are just wonderful. I feel like they not only care about my success as a student, but also me as a person. They'll ask how I'm doing, and they're just always so kind. So I'm really grateful for them.
I specialize in gerontology social work, and I chose to specialize in this because I attended Traeger Institute in my practicum in my BSW, and they work with older adults in the aging population, and this is where I found my passion. It kind of just clicked that this was what I was good at, and I definitely seen the need and somewhere I could put my skills to good use.
With my degree in social work, I want to become a licensed clinical social worker to help people of color with mental health and also improve my community in different areas by helping with that.
I think at first I want to do therapy and get licensed, and then after I get licensed, I would like to work in the macro field and use advocacy and lobbying, and then eventually get my doctorate degree to help in research.
So right now I work with HIV positive patients, and I help with appointments, scheduling. It is a good job, but I think I want to further my career with either being a travel social worker or a therapist.
I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. I know that I'll have a lot of opportunities with a social work degree. So right now I'm just keeping my options open.
I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity for the scholarship. It really helped me. So thank you so much.
I do want to thank the donor for allowing me to be a recipient of the scholarship. I really am grateful that I even had the opportunity to apply for a scholarship like this and receive one.
I do just want to say thank you. I'm honored to be able to be a recipient of a scholarship. I have never received a scholarship ever since I've been in college or anything. So I'm really honored and thankful that I was one of the recipients.
Thank you for joining us and participating in today's program. The Kent School has come a long way since our founding in 1936. This year is particularly exciting for us, and we hope you will continue to help us honor our past and celebrate our growing future as the Raymond A. Kent School of Social Work and Family Science. This year, we are challenging all of our Kent School partners to make a gift of $19.36. This gift will help support a Kent Scholarship Fund of your choice and supports the educational pursuits of future social workers and therapists for years to come. We hope you will join us in this challenge. All gifts, large and small, make a difference in the opportunities available to our students and their education at Kent. Thank you. Please stay safe and healthy. We hope the rest of your 2022 is incredible, and go Cards.